thoughts as we look ahead to the upcoming NASCAR Canada Series season?
Yeah, what a lot of changes over the winter. So it's I think it's an opportunity for the series to start kind of a bit of a blank canvas, I think. And I think the NASCAR Canada name more in line with the other international series. It's a good thing.
Mhm.
Glad that we still have Pinty's and Navirum supporting the series, and hopefully, Alan LaBrosse is the new general manager. Hopefully, he's able to bring some more corporate sponsors and can kind of continue the upward trajectory for the series as a whole. And we've invested as a team in some new equipment, a new car, so we're locked in for the four road course races. So we're hoping that things continue to progress in the series, because that's where we're planning to be for at least the next couple of years. So looking forward to what kind of the future is with the name change and all the new stuff.
On the schedule that you've put together in running those four road course races, as you mentioned, what are your goals for this year?
Yeah, I think the in 2022, when it was my second year with Jim Bray's team, we had a better understanding of what to do with the car and what we wanted to set up, and we had some decent results. We had sixth at Trois Rivières, ninth at CTMP. We were running good at iCar, then the car broke. So I think last year was maybe more of a building year, and like I said, the second year now with the same team, our new team that we've built, I think should be better. We've kind of learned by failing last year, not very good results. We had a couple opportunities to have some good results, but it was one of those years where we just like the luck was just terrible, and we made mistakes as a team with the car setup and preparation. So. Um, the new car through McCall Racing Enterprises, I think, is an opportunity to, like the series, kind of start with a blank canvas, and
Mm.
we'll be able to see exactly, you know, do exactly what we want on the car. The car we had last year was a piece that we had bought off of DJ. Really good car, but when it's not yours, we were still kind of figuring out some of the little nuances of it, and where everything went. So with a new car, we're going to be able to do completely everything that we want, and have exactly a handle on what it is that we want to do to it, and where we want to what direction we want to point it in. So hopefully we do a lot better, I guess, is the answer.
Yeah, hopefully we see you close to the front this year.
Yeah, and like I said, I think with the second year with the 98, we were starting to get there, and so now I hope with a brand new car and some the learning that we did last year, I think hopefully we'll be back in that solidly in the top 10, if not hopefully even closer to the sharp end of the field. So we'll see what happens.
Out of the four races that you're going to run this season, which are you most excited for?
That's a good question. I'd like to say my home track CTMP, but I haven't had a lot of good success there or luck there. So yeah, I mean, I think that it'd be nice to actually do well at my home track for once. And like I said, new car, we learned a lot. We're gonna do a lot of testing at CTMP, so that'd be nice. Obviously, we have two opportunities there to have a good result.
Mhm.
But I always get excited about Trois Rivières. It's just a super cool event. Like our two races, I think Trois Rivières is one of the big events, I'd say, on our calendar. It's not just a race; it's a whole weekend. It's the fanfare, the town, the parade, all that. It's pretty cool. It's a big deal for us in our Canadian series, right? So I always get excited for that. It's a fun weekend away with the family. The people in Trois Rivières are some of the nicest I think you'll meet in the country, and they all have an extremely, extremely strong passion for racing. And people are always nice to me and telling me, "Oh, I saw your dad race here," and 1995 or whatever, blah blah blah. So it's really cool for me. So that one I have marked on my calendar, and that's been my best result so far in this series was at that race. So I'd like to be on the top step of the podium for that one particularly.
Could we see your schedule expand in the years to come in that?
Yeah, I think what we've done in the past was maybe quantity over quality, and I think
Right.
this year our focus is quality over quantity. So
Mm,
we've got our budget now. Um, Probably we could do more races with the budget that we have, but we want to spend money on testing. We want to spend money on this car, so if we're able to find some more sponsors, I'd love to do some of the ovals. Obviously, I think I'm getting better. I'm not, an oval racer, I would say, but I'm getting better. I'd love to do the dirt. Obviously, that's a big race when it comes to the purse. It's challenging. It's way different than anything else I've ever done. I did that the first year, but not last year. But yeah, so yes, I mean, I'd like to do more. Obviously, it's all budget related, and we have a couple really good sponsors right now. Obviously, AER, they're involved. The McGraw family are the owners, the founders of AER, and they're involved with our team, Fellows McGraw Racing, and we have Poly Sleep in Quebec. It's a Canadian mattress company, so it's cool to have a homegrown sponsor as well. But we got to expand our kind of corporate sponsors as well, and get to the point where I look at the DJs and the Dumoulins of the series with Castrol and WeatherTech, and it'd be really good for me one day to get one of those sponsors that's brings a lot to the series and has that kind of a value of longevity as well. So that's the dream. That's the ideal. I'm sure everybody in the series wants that.
yeah.
But I mean, that's where hopefully I'd like to be one day.
Obviously, you grew up around the sport, watching your father and that. But what led to you getting behind the wheel for the first time?
Oh, well, the first time I was actually behind the wheel, my dad put me on his lap in a NASCAR truck test in probably 1997 or 98, little track called Putnam Park down in Indiana. And I think I remember thinking that this was very, very cool. And kind of, being at the track, my parents always took us to all the races, and I always wanted to do it. I always wanted to give it a shot. And then finally got serious with it around 10 years ago now. So 2014, we kind of got serious with it. And I think, if it was something where I gave it a shot and I wasn't very good, I probably would have been like, okay, well, that's that. But obviously, I think I had a little bit of natural talent for it, and my parents were willing to help, support me a little bit along the way, obviously, which you need in this sport. So, just pure, passion and family influence, I think, is the short answer.
What's the fondest memory that you have growing up watching your father race?
Like I said, the NASCAR stuff is really. I mean, I have a huge connection to Corvette racing, and my brother and my sister, we grew up under the Corvette racing tent. But whenever we would go to NASCAR, which was usually once or twice a year for either Sonoma or Watkins Glen, that was like our little, Daytona 500. That was the one that if there was one race we wanted Dad to win, it was one of those each year. And I think just the family aspect of being part of, and the NASCAR world, they're always so welcoming to us, and being in the drivers and family RV lot, at night, and barbecues with the family, and getting to meet other drivers and their kids and stuff. It was super cool. That was like it was like going to a little NASCAR summer camp.
Oh, it sounds like a lot of fun as
Yeah,
as
it
a kid
was.
growing
Yeah,
up, right? So,
yeah.
with everything that you've gotten to do so far in your career, is there anything else in motorsports that down the road you'd like to try?
Yeah, I think until kind of COVID, I always thought that I was on like a bit more of a sports car path, but I just found after 2019 that the sports car route was just so expensive for me, and my family's always willing to has always been willing to support me a little bit, but we don't have the money, the multi-$100,000 budget to put me in a sports car or to go, just race, in IMSA or anything like that. So
Yeah.
we've got sponsors, and we looked around and saw that the NASCAR Canada Series was kind of the best value in the country. And the best competition, I think. So
Right.
that's where we are right now. I'd still, one day I'd love to continue on the NASCAR path, but sports car racing has a special place in my heart. I'd love to get back to that somehow. I'd love to race at Daytona 24 hours or maybe even Le Mans 24 hours. Who knows? But that'd be great. But on our radar right now, I think is when you look around once again at value is NASCAR Canada and likely I would say the Trans Am Series. And we have obviously a Trans Am race coming to CTMP this year, and I don't have anything planned specifically, but I mean I'd like to be in a car.
Right.
Uh, and I'd like to do some Trans Am racing. Obviously, that was a huge part of my dad's career was getting into the Trans Am series and doing well there, and it's where he established the 30+ year relationship he's had with Chevrolet. So was in Trans Am. So I think that'd be kind of a natural next step for me is to get into the Trans Am series and kind of continue with some of the road course pseudo sports car stuff. I don't even know what you call Trans Am. It's kind of a mix between stock car and sports car racing. It's kind of its own thing. So that'd be really cool.
Last question for you. With everything that you've been able to do in your career, what's a piece of advice that you give to somebody getting started?
Yeah, it's it's tough. It's so it's such a money driven thing now that it can be really um, it can be really hard to kind of keep your head up in the early days. And I think the best thing that I have for going for me is my name, and I've tried to exploit that as much as possible. But if you don't have that, I could see it's really hard if you don't have a recognizable name that kind of gets you in the door. So I feel very blessed and lucky to have that. But what my dad always says is, if you have the passion, if you're driven, no pun intended, if you're driven enough, if you want it badly enough and you're good enough, somebody will find you and help you out. And I believe that as much as people get discouraged in this sport and kind of peter out, and you have people who are there's some great talents that I can think of what if they had an opportunity and they didn't get it and blah blah blah. And but my dad's motto is never, never quit. So if you believe hard enough and you want it bad enough, I think you can make it happen.
Alrighty.